Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Between Ukraine and Russia. Interesting video if you want to learn. It's a neutralization of an anti-personnel mine Mon 50 by a Ukrainian sapper. The U.S. released the latest military aid package for Ukraine, and it is quite impressive. 32 Bradley IFVs, 32 Stryker APCs, 31 SPH 155mm, probably Paladins, 155mm artillery rounds, including DPICM, cluster ammunition, additional missiles for MIM-104 Patriots, additional missiles for HIMARS, AIM-7 air defense missiles, Stinger man pads, mine-clearing equipment, TOW missiles, Javelin and other AT systems and missiles, 105mm artillery ammunition, Penguin UAVs, precision aerial munitions, 27 tactical vehicles to recover equipment, 10 tactical vehicles to tow and haul equipment, demolition munitions and systems for obstacle clearing, small arms and over 28 million S rounds and grenades, spare parts and other field equipment. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan confirms that the USA are going to deliver cluster ammunition to Ukraine. The Pentagon will lay out the details later on.
I mentioned, because we've seen all of these reports on the provision of cluster munitions to Ukraine, I will leave it to the Pentagon to make a formal announcement later this afternoon for the next drawdown package, and to go into the details of that drawdown package and the specifics on the types of munitions being provided. But I will use this opportunity here today to make a few points. First, we base our security assistance decision on Ukraine's needs on the ground. And Ukraine needs artillery to sustain its offensive and defensive operations. Artillery is at the core of this conflict. Ukraine is firing thousands of rounds a day to defend against Russian efforts to advance and also to support its own efforts to retake its sovereign territory. We have provided Ukraine with a historic amount of unitary artillery rounds, and we are ramping up domestic production of these rounds. We've already seen substantial increases in production, but this process will continue to take time, and it will be critical to provide Ukraine with a bridge of supplies while our domestic production is ramped up. We will not leave Ukraine defenseless at any point in this conflict, period. Second, Russia has been using cluster munitions since the start of this war to attack Ukraine. Russia has been using cluster munitions with high dud or failure rates of between 30 and 40%. In this environment, Ukraine has been requesting cluster munitions in order to defend its own sovereign territory. The cluster munitions that we would provide have dud rates far below what Russia is providing, not higher than 2.5%. And third, we are closely coordinating with Ukraine as it has requested these munitions. Ukraine is committed to post-conflict demining efforts to mitigate any potential harm to civilians, And this will be necessary regardless of whether the United States provides these munitions or not, because of Russia's widespread use of cluster munitions. We will have to continue to assist Ukraine with demining efforts no matter what, given the significant use of cluster munitions already perpetrated by Russia.
Si no puedes aportar económicamente al canal, suscríbete, comenta y comparte, esto ayudará mucho a seguir informando.